I took my resignation letter and it was taken. But as I believed God for a job, I stayed for 3 years without a job. Until one time I was almost deciding to go back and say, I think I can work. But I want to show you how a journey can go. Because whenever I was working, they never closed that clinic, even for a single day, even for 1 hour, because I stopped working. So even as we work, let us put God first. Because let alone resignation, if you died, no one is going to stop working. No one will close the facility. No one will do anything that you are dead, they are mourning you. But God will hold you by his hand. And I remember anytime, because there came a time that I couldn't even read the Bible because I was so discouraged. But every time I opened the Bible, that is the word that came to me. And so I have treasured it in my heart that be still and know that I am God. So the job that I got, I was sitting in someone's office and I wanted to call somebody who was working within the organization that I was eyeing. I wanted to ask them because I had sent my applications thrice. The first time I did the interview, I wasn't picked. The second time, they didn't even invite me for an interview. The third one, as I was waiting and I was saying, after I'm through with this call, I will call this person just to find out whether the interviews were conducted. And as I was holding the office line, my phone was calling. And the person I wanted to call is the one who was calling me. And I said, I think because I'm thinking of calling this person. I thought I was imagining that he was calling. So when I finished, I called him back and he said, were you called for the interview? I said, no. The interviews are being conducted today. And I said, I don't even have my certificates and I'm in town. He said, let me find out what is happening. So he told me that many people had not received the invitations for the interview. So the interview was rescheduled for the following day. And I went. And as I went in my heart, and I pray that God forgave me because I was saying, I'm not sure whether they will take me in because this is the third time. And when you apply in that organization, you used to send 10 copies of everything. So I used to tell my husband, hey, hao watu ni kama wanashika sufuria na certificates zangu. So this day I went and did the interview and waited. And I waited. And nothing was happening. So I called that person and asked, did they fill the vacancy? He said, you wait. And he was laughing. So I thought maybe he knows something that I don't know. But the following day, I had gone to work in Machakos. And my husband called me and said, I have 2 news for you. Bad news and good news. And I said, start with the good news. I told him, any letter that comes, just open so that you can tell me whether there are interviews that I'm being called for. So he told me that you have been given this job, blah, blah, blah. And I said, you'll have to bring that letter tomorrow. So he brought the letter and I rejoiced and I told God, I want to worship you. And so this word stays in my heart, that I will be still and know that he is God. And today that is the reassurance I want to give you, that though the beginning of the chapter is not very reassuring, it talks about trouble. The end is very encouraging, that be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth. And I was thinking about what impact we make. Can we ask ourselves the whole of this year, who can say that they have seen God because of me? Who can say that they have seen God because of me and my actions? Because we may not all preach, we may not all be working in church, but our behavior in our workplaces, even in the buses. I remember there is a time I met a lady in the bus. And we just started talking, you know, we Kenyans, when we see another Kenyan, definitely if you're like me, you'd want to find out how they're faring on and all that. And she was calling her children demons and everything. And I was telling her, you know, the tongue has a very powerful, it is powerful. Whatever you say is what is going to happen. And by the time we were leaving, I just hope that she took my word, because I was telling her, be very careful about the words you use on your children. So today, I want to ask us, we have been reading about Noah and how Noah and his family was saved just because he was righteous. And I was reading chapter 7 of Genesis, because somehow I just opened the Bible and chapter 7 of Genesis is the one that came in. But I wanted to go back a little bit. And I looked at chapter 6, verse 6 of Genesis. Chapter 6, verse 6. And it says, the Lord regretted that he had made human beings on earth, and his heart was deeply troubled. How I pray that